Part A, we want to use a graph of f of x, which is equal to 1 minus 2 over x to the power of x, to estimate the value of the limit as x approaches infinity of this function corrected 2 decimal places. So let's go ahead and graph this into Desmos. So we have 1 minus 2 divided by x, and then we're going to raise that to the power of x. So here is our function, okay? Now, what it's asking us is to estimate this value as x is approaching positive infinity. So we don't need the left part of this graph. What we're concerned is the right side of the graph as it is approaching positive infinity over here. So let me go ahead and copy that part of the graph that we need. So this is the graph that we need. So again, as it is approaching positive infinity, so as x is approaching positive infinity, then where is f of x approaching? So let's go back to the graph and let's just see what's happening here. So if I put my cursor on here, and you can see the x values as they get larger and larger, right? We can see the y value is at 0.135. So again, as we get closer and closer to positive infinity, again, we see that it's getting to 0.135, 0.135, and so on. So there we can see that it's approximately 0.135. So for the first part, we know that the limit as x is approaching infinity of the function 1 minus 2 over x is approximately 0.135. And we want to round this to 2 decimal places. So we're going to say 0.14 for this limit. And so to summarize what we've just done, we can say that from the graph, we estimate the limit to be 0.14. Okay, now let's take a look at the second part here. So it says we want to use the table of values that's given here, table of values of f of x, to estimate the limit to 4 decimal places. So we want to go to positive infinity, so we can go from 10,000, 100,000 to 1 million. So let's go ahead and create a table in Desmos. So we have our table, and then we're going to write our function here, and our function is going to be parentheses 1 minus 2 divided by x1 there, and then we're going to raise the exponent to x1. So now what happens when we plug in 10,000? We get 0.1353. We plug in 100,000. We get 0.1353. Let's put in 1 million. And therefore there is our results. So let's go ahead and put these table of values in here. And so what do we see? We see that it's approaching this particular value of 0.135. Well, we want to use the table of values of f of x to estimate the limit to 4 decimal places. And so from the table, we can estimate the limit to be 0.1353.